In this video, we shall begin our study of inheritance in object-oriented programming. We shall do this by identifying the way in which a particular form of code duplication is likely to hamper our completion of a project. Our goal is to see a need for inheritance. For this exploration, we shall use version 1 of the Network project. The Network project implements prototype functionality that's commonly found in social network programs. The Network project consists of 3 classes: newsfeed, message post, and photo post. A newsfeed object manages the list of posts for a user of the network. Both message posts and photo posts can be added to the feed, and the feed can be displayed. We'll later want to expand the project so that it supports other sorts of posts, for instance. Let's create a message post. And add it to the feed. Now we can show the feed. We can see that the posting time must be being recorded somehow, and there's provision for comments. If we look at the methods of message post, we can see it's possible to add comments as well as like and unlike it. Let's like it and re-show the feed. Now let's create a photo post of the bike we just bought. And add it to the feed. And let's add a comment by someone else to it. We could explore some more, but hopefully you have the basic idea of what this project can do. Before we look at the source code of the classes, however, you might like to pause the video here and have a think about how the classes might have been implemented. Of course, inspectors can also help us to explore the classes without looking at the source code. We can see from its inspector that the news feed is storing collections of message posts and photo posts. The post classes are also likely to be fairly standard classes, with string and integer fields that you should now be used to writing. The only novel aspect is likely to be the way that the timestamp is obtained, but that simply involves the use of a library class. If we now look at the source of the message post class, we can see that it is indeed a familiar-looking class. Most of the methods are fairly simple. The most complex is the display method. Notice that the formatting of a post is done by this class rather than the newsfeed class. This reflects the principle of responsibility-driven design. If we now look at the source of the photo post class, we can see that it looks remarkably similar to the message post class. How similar are they, in fact? If we compare them side by side, then we can see that the only differences involve the message field in the message post and the file name and caption fields in photo post. Seeing this, our awareness of the undesirability of code duplication should make us feel uncomfortable, but is there anything we can do about it? Let's take a look at the newsfeed class and see how that looks. The class is relatively simple, but once again we see evidence of duplication. Everything that's included for message posts is duplicated with photo posts. If we were to introduce further types of posts to the project, event posts for instance, then the duplication would increase even further, both between the post classes and the handling of post objects in the newsfeed. This is clearly undesirable because it's unsustainable, but what can we do about it? In summary, what we have here is a good idea for an interesting program. We already know all of the language features that we need to implement it. However, we can see from even a cursory exploration that we shall quickly be hampered in its further development if we cannot find a way to deal with the rampant duplication that already exists. This is where inheritance offers a solution.